It was a Friday night when I was 16, hanging out at a friend's place, engaged in a typical game of 2K. We were in the midst of our usual custom draft, selecting players for our teams with an intensity that went beyond mere fun. It was all about claiming bragging rights. Midway through the draft, an odd noise echoed from the basement. The setup of my friend's house included the washer and dryer down there, creating an unsettling atmosphere. This noise, however, wasn't something we could dismiss. It stood out, resembling someone forcefully banging on the side of the dryer. Alone in the house, with his parents working late, we exchanged concerned glances. It couldn't be his parents, but the sound persisted. I asked him about it, and he, still puzzled, admitted he had no idea. When he suggested going down to check, I hesitated. This was his house. Eventually, he asked if I'd accompany him, just in case it was an intruder or a threat that needed forceful handling. As we approached the basement, my mind raced with various scenarios. Descending the dark staircase, anxiety gripped me with each step. At the bottom, my friend flicked on the lights, revealing the back half of someone crawling behind the dryer. Fear paralyzed us, our eyes fixed on that ominous spot. With cautious steps, we reached the dryer, only to find a pair of sneakers neatly placed behind it, like someone had just taken them off before entering. The basement had only one exit, the stairs we descended, and there were no windows for someone to escape without our notice. Without uttering a word, we bolted out of the basement, waiting outside for his parents. I called my parents to pick me up, and I've never set foot in that friend's house again. The chilling memory of that night still sends shivers down my spine. During my high school days, a memorable yet ominous incident unfolded. It was prom season, and my classmates and I had just wrapped up a fantastic prom night. Traditionally, our class headed to the beach for prom weekend, and this time, it was Wildwood, New Jersey. After bidding farewell to friends, we would meet later. 10 of us pooled money for a shore house. 4 of us, including my best friend and our dates, embarked on the journey. Before our 1.5-hour drive to the shore, we decided to grab a meal at a diner around midnight. The highway was clear as we passed through the infamous Pine Barrens, known for the Jersey Devil legend. The highway, flanked by eerie tales of the mythical creature, a flying biped with a goat head and hooves, was unsettling. Despite the legends, we continued our journey. About 45 minutes into the drive, my friend Matt urgently needed a bathroom break. Spotting a large oak tree with scraggly limbs off the highway, he seized the opportunity. Upon returning to the car, Matt mentioned an eerie feeling and a faint noise from the tree, which we dismissed as an attempt to spook us. As we resumed our journey on a dirt road, our car was suddenly struck from the side, causing it to flip over. In the darkness, we couldn't identify the source of the impact. The next thing I knew, I was in the hospital, reassured by a beautiful nurse with blonde hair and flawless fair skin. Oddly, she bid me farewell, and her absence during my hospital stay struck me as unusual. Upon leaving the hospital, I inquired about the nurse's name, describing her appearance. To my surprise, no one fitting that description worked there. Months later, I stumbled upon a book titled Weird NJ at Barnes & Noble, which featured a page about the Devil's Tree. As I read, I discovered a chilling connection. The cursed tree was the same one near our car accident. The local legend suggested that harm befell those who disrespected the tree, and it all started to make sense. That night, forever etched in my memory, had a supernatural twist. On that eerie night, I found myself at my best friend's house, a buddy I'd known since 4th grade. We were casually playing video games and enjoying each other's company when, out of the blue, he decided to share a spine-chilling story he'd heard from his cousin. It was a tradition of ours to scare each other with such tales, but this one seemed to strike a different nerve. The narrative unfolded around a cemetery in South Jersey. Legend had it that if you drove by the graveyard at midnight, flashed your lights, you'd witness a woman in a blood-stained wedding dress walking down the street. The catch? Once you passed by and looked back, she would mysteriously appear in the back seat of your car. As he concluded the story, a shiver ran down my spine. It was close to 11 p.m., and my friend, with an unsettling eagerness, suggested, "Want to check if it's true?" Initially hesitant, I considered the possibility that it might be a fabricated local tale to deter kids from sneaking into the cemetery. With that rationale, I reluctantly agreed. We hopped into the car and made our way to the distant cemetery, about half an hour away. As we approached, a mix of anticipation and dread flooded my thoughts. Was this just a wild goose chase? The road was dark, devoid of traffic and streetlights, with only our headlights piercing through the obscurity. The cemetery gradually emerged, and I silently hoped the story was nothing but a hoax. My friend, gradually cruising and flashing the lights, declared triumphantly, "I knew it was a lie." But just as the words left his mouth, an otherworldly white figure appeared, moving eerily through the graveyard. In a panic, I exclaimed, "Bro, what is that?" We drew closer, and the truth hit me with a wave of fear. The story was genuine. As we passed by the woman, my eyes remained fixed on her, frozen in terror. Once we reached the end of the street, she vanished. I turned forward, but an unsettling feeling lingered, as if someone was staring at me from behind. When I finally mustered the courage to look back, I locked eyes with a distorted, woman-like figure with blood on her expressionless face. My friend, noticing the horror in the rearview mirror, swerved the car in a panic. The figure emitted a chilling shriek before disappearing for the last time. We sped away, both of us hyperventilating, vowing never to venture into the realm of scary legends or haunted houses again.